day 18 of 30 Days of Sketches with Christy's Beautiful Life. And today's sketch is by my friend Anna over at Peacecraft Love. And she's got 3 photos. They're different sizes. A little torn paper down here, mixed media. Actually, it's in the middle now that I say that. Piece in the middle here. Oh, okay. I'm imagining splatters, of course, and then maybe little stamped images here. The title's over here, etc., right? I'm going to probably rotate it, though, because the pictures I have are, we went to Branson and we went to this little show. Now I'm going to have to look it up. I think it was Dolly Parton's something was the name of it. And I think I'm going to use this as a vertical photo. And then I've got these two here. So they'll kind of come like, like this. I got to trim that up. And what I'm trying to use up, y'all, sorry, Saturn's on my stuff. I still had a little bit of this, like, it was from Wild and Free Hip Kit Club. So I still have a little bit of Western-y stuff, and I think I can use this up, but I don't have the papers left. So I have pulled out, so sorry, honey, hang on. Get off. Sorry. Y'all, this cat, she won't get off. It's the October 2022, and I'm hopeful, I'm pretty sure, I mean, obviously you can do anything you want to with paper, right? I'm pretty sure I can make this work. And I'm saying that, and I've only got this full sheet here. And then I've got this sheet, which now that I'm looking at it, maybe I can tear it down the middle. That might be what I do here. And then I've got a few little pieces of scraps here. I like this a lot, but I don't know how many. It's also got this little plaid on the back, so that might, I don't know if I need it or not though, y'all. I'll have to mount the photos, I guess, but I'll have to play with that, so we'll see. I do like this orange plaid though. That's a real pretty, that might look real good there. I'm gonna have to make that work maybe. Yep. Okay, anyways, so I think I'm gonna try to work with those. Is a way of this particular kit. It is kind of a fall kit, but there's kind of this cool little font here. It's green. It did work with the kit when I still had some of these green pieces. I'm not certain how much it's gonna work with just these pieces, so I will have to see. And I may still have letters that came with this kit, actually. I'll have to get into my letters. I might still have those letters. So, and I got to think about my title. There's also this kind of neat little foam stuff, and this memory's kind of cool. I got family memory, and that's kind of blocky, kind of like a Western-y type deal. So, like I said, I've got things to kind of play with here. I'm going to get started, and as it relates to mixed media and all that, I'm not certain. I do have this vintage photo, but that may not be... I may end up going with this vintage photo here because it's a little more, but it's the ink as opposed to the oxide. So I'm going to have to look at this. It may be one of these because I like this. This has a little bit more orangey to it. I do have some more oxides over there, but I'm going to start with those, I think. So let me get to cutting, and I will come back on in just a minute once I get myself figured out. All right, talk soon. Okay, gang, so I have torn that blue that I mentioned. I tore it, and then I just kind of tore along the sides of it to give it the little, the little white core exposed tore edge. In the sketch, I think she tore a little bit deeper, made a little bit bigger, more enhanced tears, but mine's a little bit narrower, I think. So I stuck with a little bit skinny tears there. Now, I've got these stamps. I had these over my little bowl. I keep these nearby because they have a neat little, they're just kind of random textures or whatever. And they do work nicely when I'm struggling with my packaging technique. So I've decided, I ended up pulling out about 4 different inks here, y'all. They're all kind of in the brown. I poured out like, I think this is something burlap. And then I did have that vintage photo, the ink and the Distress Oxide. And I ended up pulling out also a Lindy Stamp Gang in a minute. Now, I put that one down first, and I honestly thought it looked a little bit too square. I end up with... I don't hate it, but I have to be honest, I was thinking, gosh, these all look so square when I start putting them down, and hers was a little more random-y looking to me, but in the end, I think it looks okay. It just kind of aggravated me initially. So I'm just kind of going around. I'm just laying my stamps down because I'm not sure if I'm going to end up using that color again. I do like this little star. I've used this before in fairly recent past on something else. I forget what it was now, but I like this little star. It's a good little enhancer stamp. It's not real big, and throws you a little something in there. So I did that. So I've got 3 stamps now on top of each other with 3 different color inks. And then I'm going to kind of size up these pictures and figure out, okay, how do I want these to kind of look? And they actually turned out pretty good. I know she has slightly different size for the third one. But and my two small ones are the same size. But I actually liked how this looked. And I didn't mention it, but I did mount the photos. And sorry, you'll see them in just a moment again. But I mounted the big photo in that yellow plaid, and then I used the white that had a little bit of plaid on it, and then I used a yellow flower that I actually pulled out of a different hip kit. I think it was the January 2023, but it was the same kind of yellow, so I was able to use it to mount all the three pictures. So you'll see that in just a second. That's where I took that Lindy Stamp Gang. It was called Chocolate Truffle. I think I showed it to you. And I just kind of sprinkled it around. I wanted a little more she had some sprinkles. And the Lindy Stamp Gang has like a gold shimmer in it. So it's really pretty, y'all. I love Lindy Stamp Gang for the shimmers too. Now here's me just double checking my sketch there. So I've glued down those two photos. And now I did put that left photo up there on some foam. And I'm going to glue that down. And then, honestly, this one, I did not have to embellish a ton, y'all. Because the stamping and whatnot, I ended up with very little embellishing. But I'm going to get into that font. I wasn't certain when I was doing the intro. I was like, I don't know if that green's going to work. But you know what? I decided to just embrace it. The pictures themselves have, different kinds of colors and whatnot. And I thought, well, it's part of the collection. It'll be just fine. So I end up calling this, my title's I'm going to Stampede out of this bigger letter, the bigger letters. And then I'm going to call it Dolly's Stampede. And then I'm going to have Branson, Missouri, or the letters for Missouri. And I'm going to use the little blue pieces for that. And I'm actually just double checking myself, making sure I have all the enough letters, because it would be bad if I put everything down and realize I'm missing one letter or something. So I kind of double checked myself on Dolly's, and I'll do the very same thing in just a minute when I'm looking at Branson, Missouri. So I end up putting this title down here, and then I'll end up coming in with a few pieces of ephemera in just a minute. So I'll just tell you real quickly about this little show. It's very popular. I don't remember now if they say sells out or not. I know we bought the tickets kind of in advance, so it might actually sell out. I know we had to get there. Seemed like I remember we had to get there a good hour early or something like that. And we stood in line outside. I remember seeing like school buses and stuff, so they were bringing kiddos there for like a evening show or whatever. So it's very family friendly. You can kind of see in the bottom picture, or it's you can't right now because it's covered up, but tons of families. You get a meal. So it's kind of like, we have one here in Dallas called Medieval Times. It's basically a show where you get food too. And I was asking my mama, I said, Mama, remind me what we got for dinner. I know it was like a half a chicken, and I think there was a sweet potato maybe, or it seemed like it was potato of some kind, and there was a roll or something, and I feel like we might have had corn or something. I remember my stepdad had to get the gluten-free meal, and my husband got jealous because it had a lot of vegetables. So, but we definitely got a big old meal. They were all like, oh, make sure you come hungry, blah, blah, blah. But honestly, my husband could have ate all of our meals, I'm sure. He's a big eater, y'all. Even though he looks real handsome and fit, he's still a big eater. Here's where I got these little pieces of ephemera. I've got that title down there, and I've got Looking Sharp, and one says always pick boots over heels. And then the other one says Country Music, Love Ya. I don't know if I pulled that out yet, but this little bow, I saw that on the fall. It was the fall collection, but I thought that little bow looks kind of country to me. Now, why, I don't know, unless I guess because the lady's little outfit, or something. There was some bows and stuff, so I'm kind of messing with them, moving it around, and I end up putting it right up underneath Stampede in just a second, and I go, oh, I don't know why I didn't think of that in the beginning. I don't think I've done it just quite yet, but I will in a minute. Looking Sharp's going to go up there on the top. On her sketch, she has those little banners. You can kind of see them. I can't tell you that I end up with my stuff in the same place, obviously. I've definitely gone a little bit rogue at this point. I'm not really part of the sketch anymore. Somehow I do that. I'll start the sketch, and I'll start kind of going down the same sketch, according to it. And then at some point, I just kind of start doing my own deal and forgetting what I'm supposed to be doing. Even though it's sitting right there in front of me, I'm just kind of going, do. I do put the always pick boots over heels up on foam on the right-hand side over there. And so that takes me just a second, obviously. And I do not put foam. That's the only thing I do foam is the left-hand picture, and then that little boots one. That's going to get a little foam there. It takes me a second because I do have to kind of get some glue on there. It's a little hard to get in there, that little old piece. And I had that one cut just right. And I thought, oh, that's perfect. That'll fit right there on that little old boot. So that's going to go there. I'll glue that down just a second. And then I'm thinking I'll pull out the gold foiling in a moment. I decided to pull out the little collection it's for the fall collection, the one that was from October, I guess it was. And it had the little gold pieces. Oh, wait, no, first I got to do this, y'all. So sorry. I had to do this Country Music, Love Ya, which kind of seemed appropriate because it's Dolly Parton's deal. So I go, okay, I can use this little country music. And I think I'm still looking at these ephemeras. Can I use anything else? And I go, no, I can't. I look at the little chipboard pieces. I kind of wanted to use something on there because there was a few cute little things. There was one that said, well, shoot, I didn't forget what it said now, but I thought it might work, and I go, no, it's not going to work. So this is where I pull out the foil. And I end up finding there's a little flower on here, like a daisy-looking thing, but I thought, you know what, that looks good up underneath. Oh, my goodness, y'all, I'm so sorry. My phone messaging is going a little bit crazy. I'll put this little foam up underneath the heels, boots over heels little thing, and I think that fleshes that out just a little bit. So it's taking me just a second. What am I doing, y'all? Oh, I was looking through those ephemeras there. That's not going to work. None of that was going to work. I think I set that foiling back down, and now I'm going to pick it back up. And, yeah, here's where I go, well, yeah, you're going to have to use some of this foiling stuff here. Because, again, that Lindy Stamp Gang has this pretty little gold shimmer in it. And I'm thinking this is going to look good with that little bit of gold shimmer. It's hard to see on camera, so I don't know that you can really catch it. But maybe when I do the slowdown, I don't really remember if I catch it on the light or not. But you might can see it. So I put that little flower there. And I'm going to take these little hearts. And I'm going to start just kind of, oh, with the arrow. Sorry. Got the arrow, and I put that next to Dolly's. I'll move that just a second because I go, well, I don't really like it exactly where it's at because it's right on the edge of that tear. But if I went too far away, it looked weird too. So I just left it there. All right, so I put those two hearts. I'll put another one on the right-hand side and a couple on the bottom. And after that, I go, you know what? I don't really need anything else. I didn't really have any other ephemeras that would work anyway. And I thought, well, you got a lot of ink and gold foiling and all that kind of stuff going on. So, Christine, I think you're kind of done. Don't mess with it no more. So that's all I'm going to do to the layout, y'all. I've got the location. I probably need to write the date somewhere. But here you go. You can kind of see the close-ups. I don't know if you can see that shimmer or not. It's a little hard to tell. But that is day 18 of 30 Days of Sketches. Make sure you check out the playlist. I'm going to guarantee you by now there's a couple hundred videos. You will probably never catch up, but I would encourage you to try because there's definitely a lot of talent. And check out my Instagram for the stills. We'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye.